Hello, today we're gonna be making some oxtails. Okay, let's go jump right into it. Because it takes a long time to make oxtails, like about 3 to 4 hours, depending on the size of the oxtails. So these are not the biggest ones you can find. I have bigger ones, but I'm gonna cook about 3 pounds of it. So I got these from Whole Food, ordered from Amazon, fresh or whole food on Amazon, and it was about $6.99 a pound. So if you can't like find them at your local grocery store, you can go to Amazon and they will deliver it to your door. So I got about 3 pounds of it. So right now, all I'm doing is about to prepare it. And when I prepare it, first take everything out the packages. So that's about 3 pounds of it. So I'm just throwing everything on in. Now we're going to add some cold water to it. So basically when I say prepare it, we got to clean it. It's very important to clean your oxtail so you won't get sick. It's very, very important. So right now I just mix some water, cold water, and I like to use apple cider vinegar. You can use any vinegar. Only reason why I say I use apple cider vinegar is because I take a shot of it every day and it burns and burns my fat and help for weight loss. So I feel like when I use that, it would kill the bacteria on, the oxtails as well. So I just went on here and took the extra step and used my apple cider vinegar for that specific reason. But you can use any vinegar, and I'm just going to go ahead and, just mix that on. And my hands are all clean, so don't worry about that. And you see all that blood and all that stuff just falling off of it. Okay. So right now I'm just making sure every piece, soaks in the vinegar, every piece. And then I just go ahead and, do this a couple of times. You drain the water. Drain your water and vinegar out of it. Just swoosh it around. And I'm going to pretty much do that again. Add your cold water. Try to get every piece rinsed in there. Do not leave a piece behind. So basically, all we're doing is cleaning it. And you see what I'm doing? Adding some more apple cider vinegar to it. Adding some more vinegar. So you see everything works. So when you continue to see red or something floats from it, just go ahead and do it another time. And, just swoosh that on in. And now I'm going to take my lemon, and that's the lemon juice. I squeezed it in there, and then you take every piece and you scrub it. This helps clean it as well. So that's what I'm doing right now. You take your lemon and you scrub every piece. And then I have lime too. I like to go the extra mile just to make sure that my stuff is clean. I don't want to be paranoid when I eat. I want all of it clean, just right. So I did that with every piece. So now once it's clean and dried out, we're going to add our jerk seasoning. I like to use jerk seasoning, and it's hot and spicy. I love spicy food. So we got the jerk seasoning as well. So we got jerk marinade, and jerk seasoning. Excuse me. So go ahead and start with our seasoning. You just season it with that jerk seasoning sauce. Make sure you get a good layer on it. Look at that. So go ahead and mix that on up. And I don't want to use, when I say good layer, don't over season it. But make sure you see how I'm mixing it on. I just season the top and then you mix it all in because things become too salty. Because we got the jerk marinade sauce as well. So that's very important. So we're going to throw that in. And this is kind of thick. So, just put that on in there. Dump that all in there. And then you can go to your international aisle once again to get this sauce. They got this sauce, it says season on it, but I feel like this is more like a marinated sauce. So I didn't put the whole thing in there. I just did enough to, blend all of it together because I do not like my food salty. I like it to be just right when it comes to taste. So what I did was just went on ahead and just used the little that I did have and blended that all in. If you need more, go ahead and add more. See, I had some few pieces that was not coated, so I went back in it. So you gradually put it in. Don't just dump the whole thing in there. And then you go ahead and finish what you was doing by putting, mixing everything together and make sure it gets its proper sauce. Look at all that. Go ahead and do that. Mix it all together. And, cook it with love and take your time with it. There is no rush. And then I hope you clear your day when you make this. Okay, that's good. And mind you, I went on ahead and put my lunar foil on there because I wanted the marinade sauce to seep in. And I only I left it in there for about an hour so it can marinate. Some people, you can do prepare it the night before, clean it and marinate it and put it in the refrigerator, and then in the morning you can cook it. All right, so we got the sauce too. This is the barbecue jerk sauce, and I'm going to add that in with the marinated sauce. I didn't do anything. I just took it out the refrigerator. And once I took it out the refrigerator, I added the jerk marinade sauce with a little soy sauce, because it's like creating another whole little sauce with it. It all makes sense. The taste will taste good. Now that you got all your marinated and your seasons all mixed up in there and your spices, now you go ahead and mix that all in pretty good. Make sure every piece get a touch of that sauce. It's very important. Every piece get a touch of that sauce, y'all, because we about to get ready to fry it. So you get you a nice little non-stick pan and add grease to it. Okay, and once the grease start bubbling, you go ahead and add in your oxtails. See how that's sizzling as you put it in? Make sure the pan is hot first. I learned that as I started making it more and more. So let it go ahead and fry on each side. And give it a little teeny space. You can fill your pan up, but just give it a little space so each of them fry evenly and not burn, if that makes sense. So now I'm about to go ahead and flip it, and I just cooked it on, you got to go for your own judgment, and it all depends on size as well. But go ahead and cook it on both sides until you see it change it to a darker color, or it get a little firmer on each side. There we go. You see how the difference is when you flip it over to the next side? Yeah, so we're going to cook this over. Remember, this is one of the next steps that we're going to do. This is not done, so do not taste or eat it. It's not cooked, okay? We're just going to fry it on each side. Okay, you don't want it burnt. You just want it nice little firm on each side. That's why I do it. That's why it makes it easier for me. Okay, so you see I fried it on both sides, so we're going to add it right back to the pot. Well, we had all that marinade sauce. Don't dump that away. You keep that. You're going to need that because you're going to cook it for a while. You're going to add water to it. So so we fried it and put it all back in the pot that we just was using with the marinade sauce. Or if you use a bowl, after you fry it, put it in the pot that you're going to cook it in. And then add your water to the marinated sauce. So keep all that marinade sauce. You see how I fried that? You can see the difference and everything. So once you had did that, it's nice and steamy. It looks so good. Okay, I'm giving sidetracked to y'all. Okay, so once you finish frying it, what we're going to do is I add like chicken broth. You don't have to. You can add water. But I added chicken broth for flavor. You know how sometimes when you just keep adding water to something and it drowns out the taste. So, chicken broth has flavor in it. So what I did was just added flavor water to it. Okay, so it still had that seasoning, even though it's still watering down the marinade sauce. And don't worry, the marinade sauce is thick enough. It's gonna hold this taste. Trust me. All right, so now I just added about 2 of those. So let's go ahead and add in another one. And remember, you do not have to use chicken broth, because you know what I did? Only use chicken broth for the first round of water, and as I gradually kept going, I just added regular water to it. You'll see. It will all make sense. And remember, just take it one step at a time. So marinated sauce, let it sit for about an hour, or do it the day before and let it sit all night. Fry it on both sides, and then get you a big pot and begin to boil it. And now you see I had some jerk sauce left over, so I'm going to keep my flavor in. So what I did was, as I added the broth, I'm like, I might as well just use that too, because it's all going to be all that flavor. And remember, you're going to continue to add water in it. You're going to be cooking it for about 3 to 4 hours anyway. So go ahead and get as much flavor as you can in the beginning. See? Just add some more up in there. Just add a little water to the bottom, shake it. But just get, most of that flavor in the first time, because you're going to slow cook it. And you're going to keep stirring it. And you're going to add water to it. And don't worry, this marinade sauce holds even if you add water to it. I learned the hard way. The hard way, because I'm like, I still added so much water to it. And it still had that taste as if I didn't add any water to it. So I felt like you really don't need the chicken broth. I'm just doing experiment, learn as I go. And as you can see, I added some little peppers in there to get it spicy. I love to make it spicy. All right. Okay, you see how this is falling right off the bone? Mind you, I stopped it and cooked it for about an hour. And this is how it looked for the first hour. You want to keep stirring it. The more you see it fall off the bone, the more you see it's ready. And here is our finishing touch. This is my baby's plate because I had ate mine. Sorry, I got hungry after waiting for so long. I just made rice and beans and some okra with it. But look, that is so yummy. Oxtails, thank you. Subscribe, and thank you always.